warm welcome, everyone.
Welcome and thank you for choosing our course.
In this very first lecture, we have 3 learning goals for you. So we're going to talk about the benefits of lean, what lean is in a very condensed way. We're going to explain it, and we're going to close with explaining the structure of this course. Let's start first with the benefits of lean. Well, benefits for organizations are numerous. You just look on the internet and you see how Forbes 500 companies have benefited enormously from applying lean principles throughout their organization. So it's not a management fad. You see it happening all over, again and again and again. Companies making enormous savings by applying lean principles. But there are also benefits for, let's say, the employees, so those people who are looking for jobs or are employed and wish to climb basically the career ladder. You know what? Go to any kind of job vacancy website or database, such as monster.com, for instance, and just type in lean or lean management or lean manufacturing. It really doesn't matter all that much as a keyword. And then you will be amazed by the enormous amount of job applications that require a good knowledge of lean as even a prerequisite to apply for those jobs. So convince yourself, go on the internet and have a look around. But what is also interesting about those job vacancies is that
These are actually coming from a diverse set of industries,
such as
hospitals, healthcare, IT, automotive, services in general, etc.
It's an enormous amount of industries that implement lean, actually. Not just the production, but also services, etc. So these are the benefits of lean for organizations and for job seekers and those who are already employed. Have a look at the house of Toyota here. The house of Toyota. Now, why would I show you the house of Toyota? Well, first things first. This is not the actual house in which Mr. Toyota lives. Neither is it the house where this gentleman lives in. Who is this gentleman? This gentleman is Taiichi Ohno. And why would I show you Taiichi Ohno, and why would I bring up the house of Toyota? It has a very clear reason. Mr. Taiichi Ohno was a person that worked for the Toyota company in the last century, and he is responsible for coming up with what is known as the Toyota production system. The Toyota production system. And this Toyota production system helped to cut costs inside the Toyota company considerably and consistently. It was an enormous success. And this enormous success, often when you have a big success story, word of mouth spreads. And people in the West, they started emulating this Toyota production system. They started doing the same things that the Toyota company did inside their factories to also benefit from the savings and the increasing profit. However, when it was implemented in the West, they called it not Toyota production system, but they called it, yes, you guessed it right, lean. So lean is Toyota production system, and Toyota production system is lean. It's the same. It's just a westernized way of referring to it. Now, this brings me back to the house of Toyota. The elements that together make up the Toyota production system are put in this so-called house of Toyota. So we have concepts like Poka-yoke, concepts like Andon, automatic stops, Kaizen, etc. They all make up this house of Toyota, which makes up the Toyota production system, which makes up lean. Throughout this course, what we're going to do is we're going to take you step by step through each one of these elements. So in one lecture we discussed Poka-yoke, in another one we discussed Andon, Heijunka, one-piece flow, etc., etc. And at the end of this course, you will know the complete house of Toyota, which means you know the complete lean philosophy or Toyota production system. We're going to do it bit by bit, of course, otherwise it's going to be quite overwhelming. So quite a central position in this house of Toyota is reserved for this part, eliminating waste. Now, how is waste defined? Waste is defined as non-value adding activities, which are activities that the client is not willing to pay money for, okay? So waste are non-value adding activities. These are defined as activities that the client is not willing to pay money for. The opposite are value adding activities, which are activities that the client is willing to pay money for, okay? Now within Lean, we try to eliminate waste or reduce waste as much as possible. We try to reduce or eliminate non-value adding activities as much as possible, okay? Let's have a look at a process. For instance, the process to, produce some kind of a women's dress, okay? Now, let's say a process to produce some kind of women's dress. Obviously, you don't produce arms and legs with that, but that doesn't really matter. The process starts with ordering and it ends with receiving the dress, and in the meantime all kinds of activities occur. For instance, the fabric has to be woven, it has to be colored in the desired color, this dress, and it has to be cut in the desired dimensions, and then it can be received. But there are also other activities occur. For instance, between ordering and weaving, maybe we have to wait for a signature from John, and John is ill at home and he won't be back for the coming 2 days. Now, if we look at these activities, if we look at weaving, coloring, cutting, would you say that these are value-adding activities or non-value-adding activities?
If I would be a customer, I would say yes, because I am paying for it.
You're willing to pay money for it, but what about this one, waiting for the signature from John? Would you be willing to pay some extra money for that just to wait for that signature?
Why would I?
Why would you? Exactly. So in that sense, that kind of activities, the waiting for the signature of John, is a non-value adding activities or a form of waste, and it should be reduced. When we reduce these non-value adding activities, we reduce lead time, which is defined as the time difference between the start of the process and the end of the process. Now, the shorter lead time becomes, the faster you can serve your customer. The customer is going to be happy. But you're also going to be happy because when you reduce lead time, the number of activities get less and less. And all activities cost money. If they don't cost money directly, they cost time, and time is money. So you're going to also make yourself happier because you reduce your cost. You make a happier client and you reduce your cost. Basically, benefit for both parties involved. I hope it's not too messy, this picture. My students always complain and say, why do you make such a huge mess? And then I ask them, well, do you understand it? And I say, yes. And I say, why do you complain then if you understand it? I hope it also was clear to you in this respect, but I want you to now think about something. Is in your own surrounding, if you're working, can you already identify some non-value adding activities? I'm pretty sure that if you think, you can think of many, because so often we see them every day, but we take them for granted. We never see them as what they are, which is a form of waste, which we should eliminate.
A justification for those are activities that has always been performed.
Activities, this is what you often hear. Eh? So when you ask people, why is this waste?
We have always done it.
We have always done it, and so we must always do it. But that's completely wrong way of reasoning.
Right.
Finally, something about the structure of the course. Well, it's a complete course. So all of the elements that make up this house of Toyota, this Toyota production system or Lean, are there. Everything is there. Everything is explained. It's a complete course, but it also means that the things that should not be there are not there. This is a certified Lean management course. We don't contaminate it with all kinds of elements from other methodologies. So in that sense, it's quite a pure course, complete and pure. Second of all, it's a straightforward course. Between the two of us, I think we have close to 20 years of experience teaching. Well, slightly less than 20 years. Right. But what we have learned over and over again is the following. If something can be explained in 10 minutes with a clear example, that's much better than explaining it in 10 hours with poor examples. So we try to keep it straightforward, we try to keep the examples clear, and we try to keep it concise. We do not want to waste your time. Finally, we have done our best to use examples from practice. So when you see these concepts, that you can apply them in practice. That was also something very important for us. We're always willing to improve the course further, so if we can in any way improve it more, please do not hesitate and send us just a message via the site, and we will seriously consider all your improvement suggestions, and we would be very grateful for that. So far, thank you so much for your valuable time and your attention, and we hope to welcome you to the next session soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you.